What's going on, everybody? Back with another video. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a couple of videos lined up, but I'm gonna blend everything together in this one video because the main key is talking about the Red Magic 9 Pro. Now, we're getting into the Samsung Galaxy 24s rolling out the next couple of weeks. So you're gonna get a lot of information about, top of the line flagship specs, gaming performance, things of that nature, right? Something else that you might see that pops up will probably be the ROG Phone 8 when it comes to like a gaming phone. I don't want this phone to get overshadowed like I feel like it does yearly because this is a really, really great phone that I don't think gets talked about enough. Talking about, like I said, the Red Magic 9, specifically the Red Magic 9 Pro. We're gonna do all this in real time. As you can see instantly, look at the price. 649 starting, right? And we'll get into like what the starting price is and like the top of the line. You see the normal stuff. Let me kind of one thing to kind of like highlight just off of here. It's a gaming phone. This the big thing for the Red Magic is that this is the only phone I think right now that has a active cooling system. So most phones like your iPhones, your Samsungs, they have a cooling system inside that kind of helps transfer the heat around. And as it's moving around inside the phone, it will slowly start to cool down, which is good, helps with water resistance and things of that nature. But when you're playing for longer periods of time, that's less time your phone gets to cool down and your phone starts to heat up. For this phone, you actually can pull in cool air and push out hot air. So your phone is constantly being cooled. And when you're playing those heavier games, you're not going to see the same type of throttling that you would on a regular quote unquote flagship, right? Um, One big thing also to notice, full screen, right? I think it's 6.8. We'll get into the specs in a second. But full, I think 6.8-inch display, no hole punch. They do an under display hole punch. I had the Red Magic Pro 8 Pro for a little minute. Oh man, love that display. Love that display. AMOLED. I think I see they use a Samsung panel, but I know it's AMOLED. Gorgeous. 120 frames too. You look at the specs for the RAM, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 storage. The one that starts at 649 is this one. Still 12 gigs of RAM and 250 gigs of storage for 649. Just Google other flagship phones that have these specs and see what the starting cost would be, and then come back. You know what I mean? Let's go. I talked about the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which again, a flagship phone nowadays for this year, 2024, is going to have this chip. So you got top of the line chip. We talked about the cooling. Um, Let me go to. Let me see. You see, like, and you see the cooling system. You have the vapor chamber as well, but also the active fan to help push out, like I said, that heat. And yeah, man, honestly, I just think as I'm kind of scrolling through this pretty quick, this phone, I think yearly, it gets a little bit um of shine in the beginning, like the end of the year going into the next year, because this is normally one of the first phones to have the new chip for Android devices, but then after that I think it just quickly gets overshadowed. And to me, this is too good of a phone not to like be in, honestly, lead the pack for the price. And like, let's kind of jump into that. Like I said, so we talked about 12 gigs, 256 is 649. For the top of the line, which is the 16 gigs of RAM and 512 storage, $800. $800. I work for phone retail, and I can tell you right now, you're looking at an iPhone 15, regular 15, 8 gigs of RAM or whatever, that in 128 gigs of storage, that's 830. I think Samsung, the S23 at the time, I think the 24 is like 800, but you don't get that type of RAM, you don't get that type of storage. On top of the cooling system, 6,500 dual cell battery, 80-watt fast charging. Like, Isaac, why is the price so cheap? Because there's no wireless charging. Camera is not no iPhone, Samsung level quality. No wireless charging. The camera, no water resistance because of the actual active cooling. Again, you're bringing in and pushing out actual heat, so you need some ventilation. So that plays a role. Does it still is it still worth the price? I mean, and that's the question we got to ask yourself: are those really deal breakers? Right? I think in today's time, when you're looking up a phone review, the phone will live or die based off how good the camera is. Like I've seen even with the ROG Phone 8 in their reviews, hey, the big thing that they talked about, all the changes that they did was cool, but because the camera isn't a iPhone level, pixel level quality, still looks like it's like almost a B tier phone. And again, the art audience that I think I'm gathering right now are gaming, mobile gaming people, right? I'm gonna ask y'all, how often y'all really use your camera, and how big of a difference, how much does that weigh when you're getting a new phone? You know what I mean? Like I said, just a quick video. I just want to say, man, like I said, I think for 2024, I don't think you're gonna be able to find a better deal for a phone than the Red Magic 9. And keep in mind, like this ain't no, they didn't sponsor me to make this video. I just want to shout some like I think this company, I think they, like I said, I had the Red Magic 8. I bought it to test it out to do a little review. I'll leave that in the comments. I'll probably do like one of the little card things and whatnot. But I can tell you, I had a blast with that phone. I love that phone. I really did. Um, but yeah, man. Only thing that I would say for me at the time too, why it couldn't be a daily job for me was because at the time I was working primarily outside, and it does rain. It don't rain all the time, but it rains enough, and I didn't want to baby my phone. So that was something that I did personally take into consideration. Was like I don't want to have necessarily a phone that doesn't have any type of water resistance. Because like again, nowhere near the level like the flagship phones, but it's still $800. Still $800. You know what I mean? And then even in that sense, right? Let's do this real quick. Asus ROG Phone 8. Because I don't think the Red Magic, the ROG phone. Now this is like legit flagship pricing, but again, you got full water resistance. You got the two charging ports. Um, Not the same type of battery life, but you're definitely getting the Asus level of cooling and things of that nature. Like, bruh, don't let the world. I mean, don't let the world. Don't let like this year go by. If you're looking for gaming phones and people talk about like ain't no good gaming phones, there's good phones out there, right? Don't let this. Yeah, man. Telling you, I'm lost for word, but yeah, man, just it's all over the place. 'Cause like I said, this is just a spur of the moment video I wanted to make and post real quick. Don't let if you're looking for a gaming phone, trust like the iPhone and Samsungs are not your only options, right? There are other great options that are geared towards um gaming as well. So yeah, man. If you got any more questions, man, I'll definitely make updated videos. If there's enough um what's what I'm looking for? There's enough hype and engagement on these videos. I'll see what I can do is getting my hands onto one, but understand that's gonna come out of pocket and that might take some time. But I'll tell you right now, you probably ain't gonna go wrong with either one of these. But that was it, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Hope everybody enjoyed as I'm still going through this. Much love. Peace.